Hello and welcome back to Pyre. So, we said goodbye to Hedwyn last time, and we're just gonna continue on. To our little hangout. You once again find yourself amid the hidden splendors of Moonlight Alcove, where you can await the time until the stars Dean to shine for you again. No one wants to talk to me? We have so much stuff in here. Oh my goodness. Before it was all dingy. Now it's all filled with stuff. Where is... That's Jody's. We have returned to a place of respite. Please make yourselves comfortable, such as ye can. We are at the mercy of the stars, but I expect they shall shine bright again, in time. As for me, I shall return by then, for there is something I must do. There, from atop the sacred mountain, you gaze down into the abyss that is the downside. You wonder when the stars shall align themselves once more. There upon the sacred mountain, you and your companions once more await the night. The stars begin to shine again. The plan of which you are all part is set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. If your companions return there through their liberation rites, what sort of place shall they be coming back to? Many moons pass. One evening, amid a downpour with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Wilfred requests everyone to convene. You understand that he has an announcement of some sort. Soon, everyone is assembled, and Wilfred regards the group. Everyone, there's an aspect of our plan, a new thing! There's an aspect of our plan which I have not talked about with you at length. Look around at your companions. What do you see in them? He lets the question hang a moment in the air. I'll tell you what I see in all of you, in all of us. I see in all of us a living vision of the 8 scribes themselves, each one among them hailing from different tribes, which later formed our Commonwealth. My observation does not come from Why? I've ruined the effect. I'm a terrible person. Move on. I think rather, I believe the scribes themselves desired, or shall I say desire, such a course. Together they created all this ceremony of which we're now a part. The exiles liberated through their rites went on to find the Commonwealth based on their values and their teachings. Thus, an instrumental aspect of our plan is to embody the spirit and the culture of which the Commonwealth arose so many centuries ago. Now, why? Please. The volume just went weird for me, and I hope it didn't for you. I hope it didn't mess up my recording, or else I'll be very upset. That way, when we are all united on the other side in solidarity, the people all shall see that we reflect the values they yet cherish in their hearts, not merely our own. Anyway, we are still missing one key representative. In behalf of Molten Millith. And I happen to know a certain bog dweller who I think shall fit the part most splendidly indeed. He motions for someone to approach. Oh, hello. A certain bog dweller slithers forward. You recognize her straightway. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a dear old friend of mine, whom I believe you met. Welcome to the Nightwings, Bertrude. The bog dweller called Big Bertrude utters something guttural by the way of greeting. We are to understand that ye require further aid from us. Yes, dear Bertrude, the time has come. Bertrude here is far and away the most accomplished alchemist whom I have ever met. You soon will find that she knows much about the rites as well. Burchard looks at you and your fellow inmates. We're all inmates here. Exiles, each in turn. We frighten ye, apparent. Everyone is silent as Burchard searches their expressions. Then tremble, small ones, and hold well thy tongues, lest we remove them. She takes her leave without another word. Please excuse Bertrude's blunt manner. I guarantee she shall more than make up for it. Everyone disperses, and it seems now that the ranks of the Nightwings are complete. Okay. Now then, my girl, perhaps you noticed that the stars are bright once more up there behind those stubborn rains, meaning it is time we got back to business. Indeed, once more several stars shine bright within the cold and storming sky. Oh, hello? Oh, hello? Okay. Alright, let's look at the planner. So it seems like whenever I beat these guys first, and then these guys second in the liberation rites. So if I just keep on going for the highest one right here. I mean, yeah. Well, shall always be favored. Ooh my. I really like this music with this guitar. Okay. Oh, it's been a while since we've fought against him. Alright, let's go for... Nope. Withdrawn. That's a withdrawn that I have to go against, right? Yes. Alright, and then here would be this guy, this crazy chap. This one. You're set to re-encounter the Withdrawn, led by the witch The witch Ood. Her name is Ood now, guys. However, outlandish her intentions seem, one ought to beware of her. He then reveals what he has learned of her and her designs. Witch Ood, one of the bog dwellers, the head of the Withdrawn, a triumvirate more interesting in legends of Yislach, the astral born, than in the rites. Her kind was known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow, one day, her research into probable regents grew into an obsession with Yislach, despite widely held belief that he is dead, or never did exist. But Ud held that Yislach is merely dormant, and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then, at last, could Yislach return to his glorious home, and Ud would go with him. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Ud in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, a sentence to the downside meant being that much closer to Yislach's resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the withdrawn stood ready to assist. In short, the 8th scribe certainly would not approve of what she aims to do, so be careful in her presence, and for now, good night. You bid the lone minstrel a restful night. In kind, it is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. Alright. Oh no, hello. Hey girl. You find Big Bertrude looking about the black wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Ugh, such a clutter, adding to this wagon, since we looked upon it last, unsightly. I remember thee from our abode in Flagging Hands. Then thou must be the reading one whom Sandalwood referred. She moves close, studying you. You recall that the mere touch of a bog crone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis or worse. A distant region of the Commonwealth left well alone despite technically being part of the nation. Cool. That one such as thee can extract a meaning from that tome. 'Twas a feat we wished to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe that thou canst understand the Book of Rites. Then she backs away, for someone else has joined you. Hail, Bertrude, Madame. Is everything to your liking at this time, or is there something more which you require? We have been unable to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard extract among thy belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint at present. Is it possible that Wilfred has a small supply among his possessions here? If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then, after you, Madame. Bye, snake lady. As they depart, you think you see the lone minstrel nod his head your way. Does she approve? Bye, Jody. I finally got your name right and you peace out. Well. Alright, let's continue on. You rise early that morning. Though Bertrude is already awake, she scowls at you. Good morning, reader, Bertrude. I trust your stay has been not too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood, the comforts of this place are not for us. Fly us forth from here to lower ground. Let us get on with all of this. The reader here shall do so once the group is ready. I thank you for your patience. It's like a flight when it comes to Alright, let's go, guys. interest. Soaring far above the Skolaren shore, you notice Pamela gazing down at the frozen cliffs below. That damned place down there. I like it least of all, I think. Among everywhere we've been, I'm thankful that there's been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home is all. The high-wing raiments. They all grew accustomed to the thinner air amid the cliffs that breached the clouds above your Commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sisters settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land. There by the nest of trees. Anyway, I'm pleased to have spent a little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's you, my wonderful Nightwings. Come to play a little trick on your good friend Manly, How very, very, very clever of you. And the damage you've caused to my beautiful wagon doubtless is very, very minimal. Fear not, I can afford repairs. It is no inconvenience at all. Though, I do have one request of you to make amends, that is. When we next face each other in a right, I trust you know that I shall ask of you, but would you be kind enough to stand aside and let the chastity prevail? Then we shall call it even, and when I return unto the Commonwealth, I shall see to it that you and your loved ones there are suitably rewarded. Now, ta-ta! Sorry, my dude. I'll try not to run into you again. I didn't know that would happen. I thought you just had to keep out of their way. Whew. This is taking a while. Definitely a lot nicer than going through the whole world. Oh, hello. I thought it'd trigger like a fight. Oh, hey. We're back again. Wilfred. Wilfred is poring over a copy of the Book of Rights as you approach. He looks up at you and smiles. The Road to Freedom, written in a book that hardly anyone believes exists, and viewers still can read and comprehend. Sometimes I marvel how absurd all of this is, my girl. Tell me something, though. I've spent too much time considering the book, but known so few of whom I could discuss it in much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think? Worth all the fuss? I find it fascinating. You tell Wilfred the book has fascinated you, and that you have never seen anything quite like it. He nods slowly as you describe your experience with it. I share the sentiment. To have in our possession a genuine artifact of a forgotten time. How much of it is exactly true, and how much of it is the scribe's retelling of events? I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. He puts away his copy of the book with care. It is amazing that these volumes have survived for all this time, I think. Whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well. And the ideas there contain, they remain rather provocative? Okay. To think the Commonwealth disavows the existence of this book, despite official recognition of the 8 scribes. Although the reasons why they're in Although the reasons why are in there, written plain, how fascinating that its secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me for my extracurricular interests in its teachings. I used to teach a version of its history. To To have access to the real thing has brought me some small pleasure. Let us be certain to preserve these volumes for whomever shall be next to use them. He turns his attention to other matters and bids you a good afternoon. Alright. I'm just gonna quickly fly through the pages. The Rites of Flame. That is cool. With these black nails, I hereby inscribe the Rites of Flame. The bylaws shall be written here in full. We, the Eighth, decree the rites attest for one's true worth in body, mind, and spirit. Now unto the stars abandon us. They shall be a binding law within the downside. Those deemed worthy in the rites are to regain their freedom from the downside and return from whence they came. The exiles shall conduct the rites as one of 9 triumvirates and look toward the stars for guidance in their path. Exiles shall bear this book as status. Cool. Ooh, what? Solimer. I got his name right, guys. Solimer. The essential structure of a rite shall as follows. For chosen by the stars within the dark black of night shall 2 triumvirates stand in opposition, far enough afield beside their blah blah blah. Oh, this is just okay, cool. Oh, hi, for Anna. I don't play you. Oh. I'm just flipping through this. Okay. Anything else? Oh my gosh. This is just Law of 3. You know what? I'm good. I shall go. Oh, bye-bye. Right. So, I'm gonna end it here. And I hope you all are all enjoying this. And until next time, I hope you all have a good day. And I will see you in the next one.